Hi guys, I hope everyone's having a beautiful day today. In this video, I'm going to be looking into the question, what did the person on your mind think and feel after their last interaction with you? There are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Carnelian. Group 2 is the Stitchtite. And group 3 is the Lapis Lazuli. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Carnelian. So let's see, what did the person on your mind think and feel after the last time that they saw you, spoke to you, interacted with you in some way? Okay, we have thief, mature man, child, and expectation. So this person might quite literally have thought, I want you to be the mother of my children. I want to be the father of your children. A sense of feeling that the two of you work really well as a team, or you're able to create really beautiful things together, or there's a desire to do that. If it doesn't have to do with like actual biological children, this could be something where your most recent interaction with them, the vibe between the two of you, the energies that were exchanged, the things that you talked about or the things that you did together, there's a sense of almost like this is a very constructive energy. This is a very creative energy. This is the type of person that I want on my team, that I want in my corner. Seeing you as somebody that like adds value to the measure of their existence. It feels like it has given them a sense of looking forward to their next interactions or their next series of interactions with you, because there's a sense of like they feel that it's time well spent. They may deal with a lot of people in their life, maybe based on what they do professionally speaking, or just some place that they're at in their life at this point of kind of like duties and obligations, things that are a waste of time, or they're kind of just going through the motions because they have to. This person could be in like a transitional period in their life, kind of seeking for more, wanting something else, maybe stuck in like a rut or very kind of bored with a lot of things that they have going on, but unable to kind of move forward beyond those things. And it's like you're a breath of fresh air rather than kind of like taking, or this person feeling very drained after having spent time with you. There's a sense of you're like the morning cup of coffee. You're like that energy boost that gives them greater perspective about kind of things they want to do in like a long-term sense in their life moving forward. So this can also indicate that they really appreciate any kind of like long-term goals, sort of like things that they're building, projects that they're creating, a brainchild that they might have mentioned to you, or it even just kind of, they've been keeping that to themselves, and yet interactions with you, things that are said, things that are mentioned, or what you have going on in your own life, it aligns very well, it feels like, with whatever their long-term goals are. And it's a sense of almost like other people or other things that they have going on at this point in time, it kind of just like takes their joy, it takes their time away. But with you, there's almost a sense of I can create, I can think, I can brainstorm, I can imagine, I feel like there's some kind of contribution, like I've actually made progress. Even if you're just relaxing and like hanging out with one another, there's a sense of that was productive, that accomplished something. It's like you fill up a reservoir within this person's soul. You make their inner child feel very safe. It feels like they really enjoy they really enjoyed recently sort of like laughter, moments of shared understanding, something they were able to express to you that was almost like their inner child coming to the surface. You make them feel like a kid again. You make them feel young. You make them feel like anything is possible in their life. And then it's starting to make them kind of like look at you in this situation to where it's almost like maybe anything's possible between the two of us as well. If there had been something where this had been like a coworker situation and, you know, someone's developed feelings, or like a friendship that someone's caught feelings, they may have leaned very heavily into kind of that boundary, the propriety, the nature, the dynamic between the two of you, or maybe it's even like a newer connection, and so you're still like getting to know one another, and it's a sense of your recent interactions with each other have opened some kind of a gate where they see wide open possibilities to kind of explore what else could happen between the two of you. Rather than having everything so fenced in, so limited, so defined, this is somebody who's like, I want to move beyond those definitions. I'm ready for us to mature and evolve beyond the nature of our interaction. So if this is like a situationship, this could be somebody that's like, hey, I'm developing some real feelings here. I want to start to talk about like getting more serious, you know, reassessing the rules, the ground rules we have in place with one another. There's a sense of beyond just the nature of those immediate interactions, they feel very good in your presence, or very filled and fulfilled within your presence. And so there's a sense of they may also be in a place right now of kind of cutting their losses, cutting certain things out of their life. Maybe this is like things they have to give up in order to, sort of move forward with something personally or professionally, or like other interpersonal relationships that have been kind of strained or sort of on the outs. But you're somebody that it's like, I want to foster what we have. I want to foster that growth. I want to make room for you in the life that I envision building for myself in the future. So let's see what else they were thinking and feeling after your last encounter with each other. Okay, we have the Blade, the Ghost Dance, Fire, Time Master, and the Spiral. So there's a sense here that you've awakened this person recently to like new layers of what it means to experience pleasure in the company of another person. Like if your last interaction, it was just a conversation, they felt deep intimacy without even having to touch you physically. And it's a sense of almost like maybe even feeling your energy, your presence kind of within their spirit for the first time ever, that has kind of lingered with them. It feels like they still feel your essence around them, your energy, your aura. All of that is very palpable. It's very tangible for them. There's a sense that like you've carved out a place for yourself within their life or in their heart without meaning to. This is somebody as well, it feels like, who sees some kind of opportunity of redemption for themselves with you. So this could be something where they're motivated to speak some kind of truth, attraction that they have to you, affection that they have for you, deeper feelings that they've kept bottled up. And there's a sense that your last interaction has empowered them or made them more confident, that taking down those walls of silence serve their highest good. It contributes to a productive future, a fulfilling future for themselves and for whatever potential exists between the two of you. So there's a sense of almost, there are things I should have told you a long time ago that I'm ready to say. There's a level of allowance in terms of whatever may develop between the two of us that I'm yielding to. If this person had tried to like keep control of the situation, keep their boundaries up, keep you at arm's length in some sort of way, maybe due to like distance being a factor, the definition of your connection with one another outside of just the bounds of romance, or even if it's a new romantic connection, there's a sense of like letting that guard down, loosening up with that, purging away those restrictions that they had kind of in place when they met you, or something that could have even instinctually kind of happened, like if ghosts of the past were triggered when they started to develop feelings, and so they've been kind of pouring all their attention into like, things can't develop further than this, I'm not looking for anything serious, I need to let my logical mind kind of run the show, and my heart sort of has its say last. All of that it feels like is dissolving, is shifting in some sort of way. This is somebody who's optimistic about what the future holds between the two of you. They now really anticipate your next interaction. So whatever it is that happened or that occurred between the two of you most recently, it's like, I want more of that. I want to go deeper. I want to see where this, almost like a hidden passageway that has been opened within them, maybe emotionally or in terms of how they're able to perceive you or relate to your interactions with one another in the moment and then in the aftermath of it. It's like they're covered in your energy. They're like perfumed by your energy after you've parted ways. Even if it's just like a conversation via text or social media, it's almost like they feel you very palpably within their reality. And they're taking notice of it since your last interaction, that there's a sense of like, I want to go in deeper with this. I want to explore this layer of whatever it is that's happening between the two of us. It's almost like they see a way forward now, where before they only saw restrictions and a choice to adhere to those. And there's a sense of, it may take work or effort. There may be things they need to move around, moving parts in their life that have to kind of be cleared out or assembled into something different in order to really make like a concrete way forward for the two of you to manifest into something romantically in real time in the material world. But there's a sense of almost like, this is unique, this is rare what we share, it's worth fighting for, it's worth the effort. I don't think I'll meet someone like you again. Or if I do, it'll be a really long time from now. Like you feel like a rare occurrence to this person. Something very rare has opened up inside of them to where it's almost like they're trying to clutch you close at this particular point in time. It's a sense of like, I need more time to figure things out or to evaluate, to assess this, to understand what's happening between the two of us. This may be somebody who's had like a kundalini awakening even. If this is like a physical, like a sexual connection, then they definitely have transcended some sort of layer of pleasure within themselves to where now there's an understanding of an energetic exchange, a spiritual exchange between the two of you that it feels like fascinates them. There's a sense of like you are what they've been looking for all along that they couldn't even define previously. They didn't know such a kind of a connection could exist, such a person could exist, or that they could feel and experience certain things that are happening to them right now. And so there's a sense of almost somebody who may as well kind of want to come up with some excuses to talk to you, excuses to reach out, to relate to you, to spend time with you. They don't want to appear too eager though, because it feels like they've exerted a lot of control over the situation so far. And it's a sense of like, I'm surrendering internally, but I still have this tightrope that I'm walking as far as where I am, where you are, and then that space in between determines what's possible between us. So let's get a couple more and see what else they were thinking and feeling after last interaction with one another. Okay, we have teamwork, protection, and preparation. Yeah, so there's that confirmation of the idea that they see you as relationship material, wife material, husband material, partner material. It's like, I want to build things with you. I want to make art with you. I want to create a life with you. I want you standing by my side as I move towards certain goals, as I reach different milestones of success. You make me feel alive and invigorated. And there's a sense of recognizing that energy of invigoration, it's almost something that's been missing in their life, or something that has been missing from things they've tried to apply their efforts towards. It might have even been that things are starting to look up for them very quickly, very immediately after your last interaction with one another. Like their mood has changed, their disposition's changed. Overnight, things are going their way. And it's a sense of almost like you've changed something within the energetic balance inside of me, where I'm able to look towards the future with hope. Rather than moving through reality in a self-protective manner, I'm able to be in the moment and believe that good things can happen. So you've had a very profound effect upon this person. It feels like the nature of some kind of bottled up feelings in conjunction with however it is that you're interacting with one another, and then sort of how they sit with that, or kind of reflect on that, or marinate on that in kind of the time after you've been around one another. There's a sense of quick changes happening for them that equates with almost like a blossoming in some sort of way, like you're making this person blossom, or they feel that this, like the idea of more with you, something more, a romantic connection, has the ability to kind of blossom into the type of relationship that's actually good for them, that they need in their life, that adds benefit rather than takes away from them, rather than drains or depletes or expects them to be someone that they're not. It's almost like you can see eye to eye with one another, even if it's from different perspectives, which it feels like gives them a lot of deep gratitude. Feels like they understand or perceive you now as some kind of like sacred being, like a sensitive being. You have a very good heart. You're very precious. You've activated this person's urge to provide and to protect. And it feels like with that is a sense of, I want to create more closeness because you're safer with me. We're stronger together than apart. So this may be something as well where, again, they're anticipating their next interaction, the next conversation, the next time they get to see you, the next time they get to be in the same room as you. They're looking forward to that, almost with maybe trying to give some kind of indicator, open those lines of communication to start to expand the nature of those interactions. Some kind of token or gesture they want to provide to you, some kind of reassurance that like, this was a beautiful experience we had. This is stirring up all kinds of amazing things inside of me. I may still need to kind of like think and plan and honor that logical part of myself, but I'm on board for not an emotional roller coaster, but an emotional adventure, like the adventure of a lifetime is sort of what they are anticipating is possible with you. So let's get some message cards from their higher self and see what they want you to know. Okay, and they say, I sent you healing energy today. Yeah, so if you felt this person's energy around you recently or today, or like even as you're watching this video, if you're like feeling their presence, it feels like you're linking in with them in real time. You're on their mind a lot. You're in their heart space a lot. They're looking at this situation, feeling into it from many different angles. And it's a sense of almost like unconsciously, this is a manifestation of energy flows where attention goes. They also say, I have your picture saved on my phone. So if this is a situation where there have been no affections that have been outwardly expressed, but there's just a lot of chemistry or potential, this can be that confirmation that, like, yeah, this is a mutual crush situation. This person watches you on social media. They may have your picture saved, maybe a picture you've taken together, you know, something where they're kind of like viewing you from afar and wanting to come in closer, wanting to create like intimate moments with you, or start to kind of build into sort of an energy of unity with you. We also have cutting fake people out of my life. Yes, this person's in the process of culling some things away, closing certain chapters of their reality, maybe just to kind of like step forward into a new layer of themselves, or, you know, kind of begin a new phase in their life in general. But there's also something about kind of as they are drawn towards you, as they are magnetized towards you, it's causing like a residual effect of the capacity of what's possible to experience between the two of you is so great that it requires them to make room by kind of trimming the fat in their life, one-sided connections, draining connections. They're able to see and understand that energetic polarity, that difference based on kind of how they feel in your presence, how they feel in the aftermath of spending time with you, what those exchanges are like versus what it's like with other people that just sort of suck them dry. And so there's a sense of there's reciprocity happening with you, or you're actually filling this person's cup, which may be a very rare thing for them. They may be the one that's used to kind of giving or over giving of themselves to others. And so it's almost like it's the idea of moving closer towards you is empowering them to not feed their energy or their time or their attention and focus into circumstances that never had the capability of pouring back into them. They also say, I look happy, but I'm not. So if this person is like playing their cards close to the chest, if they haven't like let you know anything directly, there's a lot going on beyond the surface, you know, underneath everything. There's a desire for something deeper, something more. But this person may just be very like cautious by nature, or has had some kind of heartbreak that is just making them a bit not really impulsive as far as like rushing forth into a loving connection. So there's a sense of almost like easing back off of like a guardedness. You bring them a sense and an experience of what true joy can be like. And so again, this is somebody who's getting ready to like open the doors around their heart, let their walls down a bit, allow the exchanges between the two of you to flow more freely, and also to encourage them to flow more often. It feels like by being very proactive or more proactive than they have been as far as like initiating conversation, reaching out, making an effort to kind of show up and be present and consistent with you. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got I, L, H, U, R, J, E, X, L, S, D, T, F, Y, K, O, A, and N. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. Chose the Stitchtite. So let's see, what did the person on your mind think and feel after the last time that you spoke to them, saw them, interacted with them in some way? Okay, we we have coffin, bad health, mature man, and family room. So with these energies, I'm hearing, I don't want to lose you. And so it feels like this is somebody who is understanding a sense of urgency to provide you with some kind of clarity, some kind of resolution. This might even involve like a no contact situation where they're like watching from afar and considering reaching out, considering reconciliation, and like watching the social media, watching you evolve, watching you grow, watching you thrive, maybe even watching you like get attention from other people or move on in other directions. And there's a sense of like, I see the opportunity for something more with you slipping away, or I feel some kind of pressure to make my intentions known very clearly to you because I can't stand the thought of you with someone else. This is someone, it feels like almost that might have made certain assumptions about you, about who you are, what you were looking for, what they would allow kind of the relationship or the situation to kind of turn into as far as its maximum potential in the future, that may have led to like some hot and cold behavior between the two of you in the past or even presently. And there's a sense of feeling like they misjudged you, or it was a bad call on their part to just assume that you were a particular type of way. Maybe they judged you based on surface level things, or they could have still been operating in the sense of woundedness from like a previous breakup where they almost just leapt to conclusions. They just assumed the worst. They had their guard up very immediately, or might have almost thought that you had some kind of like hidden motives towards them, a sense of kind of like, when's the rug gonna get pulled out from under me, when's the other shoe gonna drop. So it's almost like earlier on in your dealings with one another, they held back with like a degree of skepticism. They might have told themselves it was healthy skepticism, kind of like, okay, I'm gonna have to believe it when I see it. And there's a sense that they see something about you, or you've revealed something about yourself, or even just observing you quietly from afar. They're seeing you're a very down-to-earth person. You are who you say you are. You're someone you're well-intentioned because you also don't want to allow kind of like low vibrational things in your life. And so it's almost like you're somebody who operates on the philosophy of you get what you put out. And so they might not have met someone like you before, or just kind of assumed that that was all just an act or something very superficial. It feels like this person is going through like a maturation process right now. They're having to eat their words, or in some sort of way soften their stance. Like if they've been a bit judgmental, there's almost a sense of like, I was totally wrong about you. I was totally wrong in kind of thinking the worst about this situation. So it's somebody that almost wants to like come in closer to you to try and like rebuild a bond, or change the way in which they're approaching you. Kind of a softening. It doesn't necessarily feel like they would be, it feels like somebody who would be very kind of like, I don't want to do anything extreme. I don't want to go from like inconsistency to now I'm just pouring myself in and I'm utterly devoted. So this is almost something that they may at this point in time be thinking like, how can I soften my stance without creating too much of a promises I can't keep necessarily kind of an energy. So this is somebody that it feels like they want to sort of shift their approach to you, or at least kind of open up, like open their mind in some sort of way as they continue to watch from afar. As you know, maybe you do have like interactions with each other. They may be sort of limited or inconsistent, but there's a sense of like someone who wants to be more of an active listener, more observant and less judgmental going forward, because there's a sense too of feeling that they missed a lot of clues about who you are, things that they saw and just assumed it was one way and it turned out to be something else. And so there's a sense of like seeing you from fresh eyes or wanting to look at you from more of like a relaxed perspective in some sort of way. So let's see what else they were thinking and feeling after your last interaction with each other. Okay, we have the Council, many paths, Earth, upper world, and the Vision Quest. So with this energy, I'm hearing you're a vision. So it feels like they find you to be very glamorous, very mysterious, very poised. There's like a regal aspect about the way you carry yourself. Something otherworldly and so sanctified that they now feel they have to earn time within your presence. Like they might have been operating out of ego, out of a very prideful energy before. They may have almost kind of looked down on you in a certain way, and it's like the roles reverse, and they almost see you as somebody like very wise, or very, you've got a very pure heart, a very pure spirit, and there's a sense of like, I'm not worthy of you. Who was I to judge someone like you or this situation? Because now I see your true colors, and there's a sense that they feel very ashamed about that in some sort of way. Like even just kind of quiet assumptions that they've made, or like a guardedness or a reservedness. They just assumed you'd turn out to be like a particular type of person, or like other people that they've known or have heard of that are in some way like you, or live a life like you, or have beliefs like you, or that there might have been like circumstances similar to how you've connected with these people, or things that have unfolded in the time, you know, that you've been dealing with one another. And there's a sense of like all those assumptions have been proven like sorely wrong on their part. There's a sense that this person may feel inclined to get advice as far as like how to handle this situation moving forward. They almost don't feel equipped to safeguard your happiness or to give you everything that you require to kind of step into the fullest expression of what they feel you're capable of when you're loved correctly. But there's a sense that they're not just going to leave it at that and kind of like, well, I don't feel good enough. I don't think I could be what this person's looking for. So maybe they'll find that with someone else. This is almost somebody that is now changing course. They're changing direction. They're coming up with some kind of new strategy based on like this way that they see you. They perceive you in a different manner. This is somebody it feels like that is inclined to have more meaningful interactions with you, even if they're not ready for like more frequent interactions. There's a sense of, I need to make the time together count. I can't just sit here and take this for granted. They may see you as somebody as well with like many options, or you're not gonna put up with this hot, cold behavior. You're not gonna put up with their crap. You'll just find someone else. Or they may see you as somebody that you have a lot of suitors, you have a lot of admirers. Not everyone's going to look at you through the eyes of judgment. And so it's almost like shame on them for having ever done that. But there's a sense of like, if they don't change their tune quickly, then any hope of like reconnecting, if this is a no contact situation, it's a sense of like, well, then that's just dead and buried. That's gone. That's done for this lifetime. And if this is a situation where you're still in contact with one another, then there's a sense of like they almost feel that I need to start adding to the measure of our interactions with one another, or I'm just going to continue to like build a very formal energy between us. Like they feel almost like they're going to miss an opportunity to kind of get to know you on a deeper level, because you're somebody that you may give trust very freely, but trust is also earned with you. And whatever they've been showing, whatever inconsistencies, whatever mind games or like resistance they've been putting up, there's a sense of seeing you won't tolerate that. You may have tolerated that, but they almost feel like they were judging you, but you've been testing them the whole time. Like you have a threshold in some sort of way, just like a switch inside, that when a line has been crossed, when you've given too many chances or you've been patient past the point of infinity, then your whole approach shifts, your whole attitude shifts. A door closes that is unable to be breached from that point moving forward. Like they're aware of that in some way. They may have seen that happen with another person. They've like witnessed it and like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to end up in that situation on the outskirts of this person's life, shut out with no access point back in. Or there's a sense that they're seeing you as someone that's a high value person. You value yourself. You bring a lot of value to the table. And so this person may operate a lot off of assumptions in general. So here they are assuming again, rightly so, that like with that high valuation of self, you know when to leave the party, you know when to leave the relationship, you know when to excuse yourself from the situation and move forward with dignity and tact and poise and grace. There's a lot of respect that this person has for you. And again, a lot of value that they're putting on you. So it feels like they're almost wanting to be very deliberate with whatever kind of the next step is between the two of you. So let's get a few more and see what else they were thinking and feeling about you. Okay, we have bond, teamwork, and weatherproof. Or waterproof. So they see you as somebody who is very emotionally stable, somebody who can handle a lot of pressure, somebody who thinks of the highest good or the greater good, or is very selfless in how you extend yourself for others in their hour of need. And like you will make sure everyone else is safe or well, and then you'll take care of yourself. There's a sense of seeing that somebody like you who gives without an expectation to receive is very rare within this world or this time period or for their life journey. They've never met anyone that gives and there's no strings attached to it. So there's a sense of almost feeling that whatever assumptions they've had about you, they need to go back to the drawing board and start to, there's almost a sense of like, I need to rethink everything I thought I knew. I need to look back at our previous conversations. I need to look at our other interactions from this different lens and paint you in a different way in my mind in order to be able to contribute and add something to the measure of your existence, so that I'm making sure if we progress forward or I reemerge in your life that I'm a force for good rather than something that creates damage or wreckage that you need to heal from. There's a sense that they find you to be very endearing. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and that might have made them at first think you were kind of naive, kind of flaky, maybe not very intelligent, not very discerning. And so they pushed those limits and boundaries, or they treated you like someone that they might have just looked down on or thought, well, you know, it doesn't matter. Disrespect will go right over their head, or, you know, they don't bring the qualities to the table that I would equate with someone I could have like a serious relationship with. All of that has changed in some sort of way. They see that you're smarter than you appear. Your heart never leads you in the wrong direction. They're starting to change the idea of what it means for people to live with a heart so wide open, to be so deeply empathic, to be so driven to like help others, serve others, please others. They might have thought that as a sign of like weakness. This is almost somebody that in the past might have been like, you're a liability. You're too open. You're too generous. You create risk for me. This may be somebody who's very concerned about like the people they have around them. They keep a very tight circle, and they saw kind of all of your feelingness, all of your friendliness, all of this like maybe sweetness or light within you would compromise the nature of almost like reinforcements that they've made within themselves, within their social circle, within the way that they're living their life. But they're seeing now that you're an asset. This light inside of you is its own form of like protective barrier. It's its own layer of protection. They see you as somebody who listens to your heart. You follow your heart. You're very intuitive. They might not have believed in things like intuition or psychic abilities or ESP is coming through. So maybe there's a lot of telepathy going on between you. Or that can be the nature of these interactions, especially if it's like a no contact, and maybe a lot of that telepathy going on that like they're consciously recognizing like in real time, and you've made them a believer in some sort of way. Whatever they have like seen or experienced, they can't unsee that. They can't unexperience it. And so there's a sense of almost like, I approached you incorrectly. I need to course correct that. I want another chance. I want to shift the way that we're dealing with one another. We're not operating in tandem, and I want us to. So it feels like this is somebody who's kind of like retreating into a contemplative energy to be very deliberate with whatever the next action towards you is. So let's get some messages from their higher self and see what they want you to know right now. Okay, and they say, I look happy, but I am not. So this person may be great at playing calm, cool, and collected. They may be a person who's very hard to read in general, but they are tied up in knots inside. There's a sense of feeling like I made a huge error. I made a huge mistake. I made a huge judgment call that was incorrect as far as you are concerned, that has determined the nature of your dynamic right now, the frequency of these interactions, maybe even like a tone that they took, something that they said, something that requires like an apology or an explanation or making amends. And they're very tense inside. And so this is kind of tying into, again, like some kind of momentum that's building to approach you with consideration and courtesy and like the respect that you're owed or that's due in this situation. Yeah, and we have connect with me in the 5D, so a lot of telepathy going on, a lot of exchanges in that sense. It feels that there's a lot happening in the dream space between the two of you, and they may be, waking up, remembering these dreams, putting together the pieces, connecting the dots of how that relates to certain things taking place in the material world, almost getting like prophetic dreams, or seeing who you really are, your true form within that kind of liminal space, either the meditative space or the dream space in general. And it's almost like something has softened inside of them energetically or from like a higher consciousness level to where they're wanting to sort of treat you in more of a sacred way and less of a frivolous or expendable way than they had previously. We also have, I am leaving my karmic. So this can involve third-party situations, something where, there was like not necessarily a feasible path forward for the two of you for romance. So they might have just kind of leaned into judgments and assumptions as a way to kind of keep a wall intact between the two of you and the feeling space within. It's a sense of their mindset is changing, their view is changing, other things in their life, like literally a karmic connection, maybe on the outs. And so there's a sense of like, when I am free, when I am single, when I am available, when I've, changed my thinking, when I've kind of rerouted the way in which I process information about you or the assumption that I have about you, I want to approach you. I want to make amends. I want to explore this potential between us. We also have, I'm trying not to lose faith. So this is almost kind of like rude awakening sort of energy. There's a sense that they are starting to understand like who you are why you have come into their life, what is possible with you romantically, and even themselves, like as a person, to kind of evolve just their viewpoint on life in general, or kind of move beyond sort of limited patterns in general. They're starting to understand that you're a key to that, that it's not accidental, it's not arbitrary. There's a lot of opportunity to experience a different type of beauty and joy in terms of romance and connecting with another person if they are able to kind of get their ducks in a row and present something that enables the two of you to move forward, or to start to heal with one another. That there's something beautiful that's possible with that like they've never experienced with another person, or they're not seeing any signs of any other doors through which that would be possible to step into in like other relationships in their life, or anything that they've known prior to meeting you. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got V, D, S, U, B, N, A, T, P, I, W, D, K, O, P, N, E, and G. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the Lapis Lazuli. So let's see, what did the person on your mind think and feel the last time they spoke to you, saw you, or interacted with you in some way? Okay, we have occupation, family room, mature man, and house. So with these energies I'm hearing, I don't just want to play house with you. So this is somebody, it feels like, that is very serious about locking in the situation with you, making a solid commitment to you, continuing to show you effort that lets you know, hey, I'm here, I'm showing up in my good days and the days when I don't have much to offer. I'm here for you on a regular, reoccurring basis. I appreciate that you are here for me in that same capacity. With this one, this occupation, I'm hearing it's my business to love you. So there's a sense of almost feeling that loving you is something that they're actually like good at. This may be somebody who efforts they've made to people in their past, like other relationships, it just kind of, they weren't appreciated. It might have been something where they put in all this like thought and effort, like this is going to be special, this is going to be something that this person really resonates with, or likes or enjoys, and it was just kind of treated very neutrally, or it didn't go that way. It kind of fell apart, or came out sort of with misunderstandings. But with you, it's like everything hits the mark. You get it, you get their humor, you get their subtlety, you have appreciated like small efforts that they've made. And so there's a sense of like you fit in not just with their ideal partner, but with someone who actually is good for the reality of who they are, not kind of like the hero that they can become or who they'll be in 10 or 20 years, but like this version of them right now is being received by you in ways you don't even understand, that is deeper, more authentic, more satisfying, and more like consciously acknowledged than even long-term connections that they had had in their past. People in the past that they might have been like, I think this is the one, and it's like the situation between the two of you, they have a whole new understanding of what that concept, what that feeling inside of like, I think I met my soulmate, I met the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, that I want to build the life with. They are now coming into this awareness of what that really means. It's like everything of depth that they thought they felt for other people before, it was just cliches. It was just cardboard. It was not, there was nothing substantial about it. It wasn't even real. This is somebody who's curious to explore deeper layers of what's possible between the two of you. They want to get to know you more. They want to know how you are under all different sorts of circumstances, in sickness and in health. They're on board for all of it. They want to participate in all of it. This is somebody who feels very safe within your presence. They love cuddling with you, and maybe that's just in their mind or energetically, but if this is like a physical connection, then they think you're a really good cuddler. There's a sense of almost like I can really relax when I'm in your arms, or our bodies fit so well with one another. You're so responsive, so receptive to me in kind of like subtle cues and, you know, closeness versus kind of just like occupying the same space with one another. There's a sense that some kind of like a comfortable silence has been brought to their awareness between the two of you. So that may have something to do with like a recent interaction, that it's like I like being with you even if we don't have anything to say, even if there's nothing to do, even if we're both just doing our own thing under the same roof, in the same city, on the same planet. I enjoy that. So it feels like they're thinking about you in kind of like all aspects and manners of their day. This is somebody, it feels like, who is indulging in fantasy now about you that doesn't just have to relate to like sexual fantasy. It's like they're fantasizing about little moments. What will Sunday morning be like? What are the holidays going to be like? You know, what is it going to be like when we're making kind of major decisions with one another moving forward? What's it going to be like when we move in? What's it going to be like when we get married? What's it going to be like when, you know, we want to set out on an adventure together? You have now filled their fantasy world with all new possibilities of things that they never thought they would think about in conjunction to another person again. So this is also the energy of somebody who is getting ready to kind of like open up their heart space to you more. Things and aspects about themselves that may have been shut down after previous heartbreaks and disappointments, where they just sort of like tucked parts of themselves away. Like, well, maybe this isn't worthy of love. Maybe this isn't a lovable quality of me. It's like they're getting ready to show you all of them, or invite you in more closely to their world and to their reality. So let's see what else they were thinking and feeling after your last interactions with each other. Okay, we have the Sweat Lodge, Beauty Way, Magic, Soul Retrieval, and Wind. So there's a sense that this person recognizes that they don't hear the words that you speak, they feel those words within their soul. Your voice is like their favorite melody. It's like a lullaby. You bring peace to parts of themselves that have always been at war. There's a sense that in your presence, this person feels very renewed, very rejuvenated, very much like mistakes of the past don't matter. The weight of the world that is typically upon their shoulders eases for just a moment. They feel healed by your presence or by your exchanges with one another. That can be like sexual healing, or this can just be, if you're having like small talk with one another, that energy exchange, your voice, even like the way you type things out, if you're not like speaking on the phone to one another, but it's just text or like a DM on social media or like an email, there's a sense of almost your spirit translates through those written words, and it helps to let them know everything will be okay. Everything is right in the world. They see you as somebody that has the magic touch. Everything you touch turns to gold. Something that you've shared with them, something you've discussed with them, some kind of idea, something that you're working on. They're seeing that as like your golden ticket. They're very confident in your success. I'm hearing, I don't want to get in the way. So this is somebody that doesn't want to distract you from your goals. This is somebody who's like, how can I help? I want to get in and be that like support system for you at this time. Or like, I'm really excited with what you're working towards in the future, what you've been working on. And I want to support you in any way that I can. I want to be that voice of reason. I want to talk sense into you when you're overwhelmed and you're wanting to quit. I want to be that person that assesses what the forest looks like through the trees at the times where you become too overwhelmed with the steps you need to take to reach that goal. This is somebody that almost like, they want to be like your assistant in some capacity. They're very comfortable with you kind of like taking the lead in certain ways, which may be different for them. Like they're looking at it as remarkable. It may be somebody that is really, they like to have control. They could even have control issues. But with you, as far as something, maybe your ambitions, goals and dreams that you have, kind of like your vision for the future that you've shared for them, it's sort of like, I'm the co-pilot, you navigate away. That sounds beautiful. Yes, I want to be a part of that. Yes, I want to create that heaven on earth with you. Yes, I want to live in that garden alongside you. This person has been reminded of like simpler times or reasons for gratitude that exist within ordinary moments, that has to do with kind of like what you're focused on, what you're using your time for at this point. This person now understands that rest and relaxation is constructive, that that's a productive activity versus just like a waste of time or something that is just leisure. It should be earned. It's frivolous. It's extraneous. You've helped to kind of sway their perspective to it's essential. That go-getter energy requires its opposite of simply stasis, being still. You help to still this person's mind as well. Maybe you've given them some kind of reassurance to continue to make efforts towards you, how you've responded to or received something that they did recently, something that they, like a moment that they created for the two of you, or how they showed up, their attitude in a certain interaction or in a window of time, maybe something even that was important for you and they just operated as like a support system. They were just there for you. They talked you through it, watched you work your magic, and just sat there beaming. I'm hearing, that's my baby. So it's somebody who wants to, like, if they don't have a pet name for you already, they want to create a pet name. Maybe that is what they call you, baby, like you're my baby. They want to make this real. They want to make this official. They want to continue to step deeper and deeper into this amazing current that is the nature of who you are and how you are living your life. And you heal doubts within them the more that they are like spending time in your presence or an experience that you've had recently. It's like they've come out of that as a new man, as a new woman, with a new lease on life, new zest for life. A new appreciation of almost the rarity of who you are as a person or what you have with one another at this point in time. That there's a sense of like, I don't want you to misunderstand and think that I'm just here for a good time, or that this is temporary, or I don't know what I want. This is almost somebody that becomes increasingly certain with every interaction, like, yes, you're the one. You keep finding ways to prove to them that, like, you're the one. You're the right fit for me. You're the person. It's almost like their heart chose you. Their soul chose you. And with each interaction you have, their logic is satisfied. Like, okay, yes, still the one. Yes, this person continues to be everything that you've wanted and looked for and searched the world over, and here they are. Yes, this is a good idea to continue to go with the flow of this, or take decisive action in this situation. They keep being reassured by you that this isn't just fantasy, that this is reality. This is the reality of who you are, what you bring to the table for them. And it clicks. It taps into something that they've been needing, that they've been yearning for, that they've been requiring in partnership. So let's see what else they were thinking and feeling after your last interaction with each other. Okay, we have community, mischief, and commitment. Yeah, so there's that confirmation, somebody that wants to lock it down, somebody that wants to make things official between the two of you. They want to build a home with you. They want to build a family with you. They want to build a life with you. They also have a lot of naughty thoughts about you. So they find you to be very sexy, very appealing. They love it when you're flirtatious. I love it when you play hard to get. So there's a sense of, like, if you are sort of stepping back from this person, or holding your ground and allowing them the opportunity to chase, to sort of present, hey, this is what I have to offer. This is who I am. This is what I'm capable of as far as, like, courtship, dating, sort of displaying my capabilities, romantically or otherwise. There's a sense of, like, you just holding your ground and allowing them to kind of make their presentation or reveal aspects of themselves in a time and manner that they're comfortable with. This really turns them on. You've activated the hunter within them, where it's just kind of like, I'm going to make you mine. You continue to surprise me, amaze me, and fulfill me, and I won't allow anyone else to claim you. You are mine and I am yours. This energy of community, you make this person understand that, like, you're their best friend and you're the ultimate lover. And in whatever ways you've explored that at this point, maybe this is even just like, I could see that we could become best friends, and, like, the best sex ever, the most, like, intimate, sensual, loving experiences ever, the best adventures in life, the most kind of, like, sound business partner I will ever have is this person's kind of intuition on things, or putting their 2 cents in about what I should do or shouldn't do. Like, in every way, shape, and form, you fit in with what they had envisioned the right partner should be like. Something that they've had near misses. They've had people that presented the illusion of these things, but the reality failed to add up. With you, the more that they spend time with you, the deeper this connection goes, or the longer you sort of allow things to develop organically between the two of you rather than forcing or rushing things, the more that they're seeing, like, this is solid, this is stable, this is somebody that brings very positive energy into my life. There's an inclination to, like, set down roots with you in some sort of way, to align your dreams and goals and start working as, like, a team, going from the energy of you and I to us. They already think of you as an us now at this particular point in time. And they may not have said that yet. That can be something that they're getting ready to, like, express in some sort of way. But your most recent interaction or series of interactions, there's a sense of, like, you complete me. You're everything that I could look for. You balance me out, and you challenge me. You soothe me and you trigger me. You know exactly what to say, exactly how to hold me in order to activate my greatest potential as a person, and also kind of bring me into a space of knowing I am lovable as I am, and the love that I have to give, it's not just something that one should settle for, but it's a treasure. It's a great gift in and of itself. You make this person feel like a king or feel like a queen in terms of their efforts towards you, little things that you might have just been like, oh, that's sweet. Or, you know, you might not have even known it was like a sweet gesture, but you responded very kind of like positively to that. It's excited this person, like, oh my gosh, somebody who actually likes that side of me, somebody who actually understood what I was trying to do there, somebody who actually received my efforts and was like genuinely touched by them, reciprocated. You might have reciprocated something as well. May have been kind of crossing a threshold into deeper layers of like relating with one another or intimacy, and it feels completely right for them. Like there's no question about it's you and them. Like the two of you belong together. So let's get some messages from their higher self and see what they want you to know. Okay, and we are mirroring each other. Yeah, so they see you as the yin to their yang or the yang to their yin. They're seeing you as somebody who balances them out, who creates stability within them because you bring your own unique blend of stability to the situation. You're somebody that makes them excited about the idea of love and romance. This might have been somebody who kind of looked at the idea of love as kind of cringy. They might have had some heartbreaks or a lot of rejection that they've been dealing with in their past, and it's almost like you help them relax into love. Like love is not a scary word. Relationships, partnerships, that doesn't kind of make them recoil anymore. They're able to kind of just sit still within that, or there's actually like a part of them which is sort of surging towards you, being very much drawn towards you when they think about concepts like that. They also say, I sent you healing energy today. So if you've had an exchange with them today, it feels like beyond the words, this can even relate to like your last exchange with one another. It might have been just like mundane, you know, sort of routine things that you're talking about or that you're doing, but it feels like this person was repeating over and over again quietly to themselves, very consciously, I love you. I am so in love with you. This is everything that I want. They were like having that conversation, that full disclosure in that kind of interior world beyond whatever they were presenting and saying at the surface. And you might have kind of gotten indicators about that energetically, the intensity of it, the magnetism. And it's because they were consciously like holding all of this like high vibrational, juicy, loving energy within them and like real time projecting that onto you. They also say, I'm asking for some time to get myself together first. So there's a sense that they want to kind of plot and plan their next move towards you, a big conversation, making things official, telling you they love you, asking you out, asking you to move in, asking you to marry them, you know, whatever that looks like, whatever combination of topics that they touch upon. There's a sense of like, I am certain, I continue to become more certain, but I want to make this special for the two of us. I want to make it right for the two of us. They may have done something recently that was like, there was a lot of thought and planning into it, and it might have just kind of unfolded very smooth, very like, oh, isn't this joyous? Isn't this a good time? Isn't this fun? But they've been building up to that for like weeks or months, years is what's coming through for some. So for years, could have been somebody that was like, whatever's happened recently that was like a bold step forward for them, kind of out of this shadowy space of where they've been holding their feelings for you or the nature of your interactions and kind of expanding that in some way. It was received, the vibe by you, how you showed up, your exchanges, your interactions, how you were participating, where they could really see like, you're into this, you're enjoying this, you're not just placating me, but we're really connecting on the same frequency. We are both deeply fulfilled by this experience in the same way. And so it feels like that has inspired them to put in a similar, if not greater degree of like thought, attention to detail, effort, planning, in terms of like not just having it be sort of like a random text. Hey, you know, do you want to go out? Hey, I think that we should become exclusive with one another. Like, you know, hey, I think we should take things to the next level. But it's almost like they want to set the setting, the mood, the ambiance, pick a special date, you know, make everything, kind of every little detail, down to the most minuscule thing. There's a sense of like, I want to make that conversation, that event, that experience memorable. Even if we don't have our, you know, phone and we're not taking pictures and we're not posting selfies about it, when we think back, when people ask us about that moment, like, when did you know? When did you ask her out? What was the first date like? You know, when did you know you wanted to marry this person? What was all of that? What did all of that involve? That it's details within that story that capture that magic that they feel in your presence, and even just the most ordinary of occasions. So this is somebody who's like planning behind the scenes for whatever they're going to do next. And we also have, I want to see you. Yeah, so they want to increase the nature of your interactions, the frequency of those things. You know, they want to take things to the next level. This is the energy of like, I want to wake up next to you every morning for the rest of my life, and I want you to be the person that I fall asleep with. You feel right. I don't see myself with anyone else. I don't want to see you with anyone else. So there's a sense of like, this is somebody who's very motivated to claim their place in your life and make things official, or more official between the two of you than they've been up to now. So let's get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got M, B, Y, Y, Q, S, G, A, Z, D, E, B, O, U, C, I, D, and W. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.